Ziggy right now.
Yeah, send him the link. We need.
Oh.
Whoa. Hey everyone, welcome to the Fifth Quarter Fantasy Cast. I'm your host, Coach V, and I'm with my co-hosts and friends, Dr. Drye and Peepaw. Yay!
Some special teams players out there.
Yeah, so I'm back in action. I'm taking solid shits again. Really good stuff. You know, you never know how much you miss regular poop until it's gone.
Wait,
You're
were
like,
they
wow.
like solid, or was it like a solid experience?
Yeah, like good experience and all together, and not like yellow liquid coming out of my anus, which was really weird for a while.
Not fish food.
Yeah, no solidity at all. It was like I was peeing out my butt, but it was like dehydrated, really yellow pee, and I was like, "What did I do?" And I was like, "Did I eat some bad honey mustard?" And I thought happened. So, anyways, we're back in action. That time off didn't help my fantasy team. We all still really suck. I think I've across 3 teams. I think I have maybe 4 wins. So we're really struggling out here. How's y'all's week in fantasy?
1 for 3, thanks to James Cook. I was going against him with Xavier Worthy, and I got the news like, "Oh, Xavier Worthy questionable." I'm like, "Say what?" And I was praying. I'm like, "Let's hope something bad happens to James Cook," but nothing bad happened. He just somehow didn't exist. All good things for my fantasy team. Xavier Worthy needed the full game, but he ended up getting it, and I won by about 5 points. So I'll take it. And that was the one team. That was the one team I actually care about. So it worked out.
Yeah, you get to. So I'm in 10 leagues, as we all know. I went 4 and 6, so kind of a down week. Lost in the BBC League. I know it doesn't stand for what people think it stands for. It stands for something else. It's some brand or something. But signed up at the Fantasy Football Expo. It's a best ball thing. But lost in that one, that all IDP league. Let's see. We also, kind of a midweek, but it's all good. You start caring about certain leagues more than others, and we're just going into rebuild on like half of these. So even in the season long ones, we're in rebuild. So yeah, we're getting through it. Speaking of poops, now that we have 4 people with us, back when Coach V and I had our own apartment, we didn't know Peepaw yet. He was still a child, so so he didn't live with us. But and Mike Sato was with us too. We kept a poop contest where we would tally off every time we pooped in the apartment. And I never won because I like to go at work, so I don't have to clean and all that stuff. But Vinny broke the record with over 250 one year. So let everyone know that.
Which is less than 1 a day when you think about it. So still not a great tally. Like very beatable. But like y'all just kept wasting them at work, and I was on a solid schedule doing them at the house.
Yeah, I mean, work smarter, not harder. So yeah. And one time my dad came over and he did one, and he put Dad 1, and so he got on the board. But yeah, very excited to talk about react to week 5. Look forward to week 6. Let's get this bread.
All right, so it's award time.
Oh, that's my cue. All right, so let's pull up the awards. For those of you joining us, we seem to have a pretty big crowd tonight. 4 people. Go ahead, comment. Anything you comment, we're going to display on here. So anything you guys want to talk about, feel free. We will interrupt the show just to bring it up. Like Superfan Matt has his eyes on the show, ready to watch. So shout out to Superfan Matt, always being a great friend of the show. So we start off with, I'm going to let Vinny explain this one because he's just the best at explaining this.
Wow, what a compliment. So you it's Christmas. you unwrap this square-ish box, and you're like, cool, my sister's boyfriend got me something. I wasn't even really expecting anything. And then it's a cheese and cracker set from Hillshire Farm. And so you're like, well, he could have got me nothing. I may have preferred nothing, but this gift is definitely disappointing. And that's what we name our player that disappointed you this week. You're not done with them. It's not over. You're going to probably crack open that cheese and cracker at some point, but it could have been better. And that's what these players are. So for me, it's Jameson Williams. He's really been letting us down this season so far. Hasn't quite went off except for maybe one and a half-ish games. And what was disappointing was this was the Bengals. They were really set up to have a big week. And Jameson Williams was kind of a no-show with like one carry and one catch. So not a great week. Me, the gift basket is like my yellow light before I hit the red light on a guy. And so, Jameson, you're on high alert. Get your shit together.
Oh, it's on repeat. Hang on, I gotta change that technical difficulty. All right, I had it on loop. But that's what he 3 farts. So I have a guy. I didn't even know that's what Woody Marks looked like. So surprised me. I thought I don't know. You picture somebody, and like I never really looked at his profile picture before, but he looks a lot stronger in his picture than his performance this past week. So I'm definitely disappointed in him. I know he's on another list that we'll go over in a little bit later. That's even worse. That you do not want to be in. It's super smelly, way worse smelling than that Swiss cheese up in that Hillshire Farm gift basket of disappointment for sure. So Woody Marks, Woody Skid Marks, put up like 2 points, and he was just such a big disappointment because he was the #1 waiver wire ad. I mean, I think he was available in about half the leagues, but people are using that #1 waiver priority on him. He went crazy the week before, and what's disappointing about this, and why I'm not ready to just completely shut him down or anything, is everybody ate in the Texans offense except for him this past week. They won 44-10 over the Ravens. Huge fantasy production from a lot of different areas. But good to see CJ Stroud finally get going. But Woody Skid Marks definitely, crap the basket this week. And he crapped something else that we'll go over later. But that's my nominee for the gift basket of disappointment for week 5.
That leaves the stud Alvin Kamara sitting there next. He a little bit worried about him the rest of the season pending a potential trade. Do foresee some kind of a trade coming based on the way that Kendre Miller's racking up a little bit here. And I don't know if I'm playing him. He's going to come up in my question here. We're going to talk about here in a little bit as well. But he only had 27 yards on the ground and 4 receptions for 20 yards. One game this year with 16 points, and that's been his max. So definitely not what you were expecting out of him this season. It just seems to continue. So one of those guys, I don't know if you can bench, but definitely a little concerning.
Yeah, he was on my God squad this year, and he's definitely not leading anyone to the promised land with bullshit stats like that. So definitely understand the disappointment there, but we know what he can do. It looks like we got some fan love in here.
Listen,
Chaotic KK.
Vinny, this is Catherine and Mark right here.
What? No.
Yeah, Catherine and Mark from Tennessee. Welcome to the show.
We never have Tennessee viewers.
Yeah.
Well, make sure you throw your fantasy football questions at us. We have minimal to moderate answers, I would say. I know Mark likes to keep his fantasy team tight, and I know Catherine, this isn't a college football show, but that's fine. We used to play college fantasy football back in the day. It was really fun. I checked. It doesn't really exist anymore, unfortunately. But when they bring that back, we can start that show, I guess.
Excellent. Well, welcome to the show. Welcome to Fifth Core Nation. get ready for some wild shit here. So we have the Sleep Number Shit the Bed Award, week 5. No explanation here. This is just the players that shit the bed, and it is active this week. We got a new bed with new stains, new players in the bed, and a new sponsor, Mike Vrabel. So we have Joakim Noah in the house. We have you might notice Arthur Smith from the Atlanta Falcons old OC, now Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah. Welcome to the Shit the Bed Award for week 5. And put a shirt on, Mike. And
why is he shirtless? Where did this past summer?
I don't know. He's bleeding from his cheek too, and I was just like, "This is perfect." So, like, the bed's the smallest part on here, but yeah, I'll start with one. Let's see. I'm gonna go with Ramondre Stevenson. And I got him real big on there. And the reason why, he's coming through for fantasy, right? So, but I'm a Travion Henderson owner. He's screwing me left and right. And Mike Vrabel is the reason. So Ramondre Fumbleson, he's got 3 lost fumbles this year, just fumbled the other night. He's got 17 lost fumbles throughout his 5-year career, led the league with 7 lost fumbles last year. This dude sucks, and he's not being disciplined for it. So if Mike Vrabel's not going to discipline him, I'll discipline him here on 5th Quarter Fantasy Cast. And if he's one of our 4 viewers, just know your days are numbered, buddy. So Travion Henderson's definitely taking your job in the next couple of weeks. Book it, injury or no injury. He will be the RB1 in New England.
It's almost like he gets rewarded for fumbling.
Yeah, like, hey, you fumbled. Here's part ownership of the New England Patriots. Like, that's just keep rewarding this man. And really, he belongs in a brown bed with a bunch of other men who like to crap in it.
Yes. And the worst part about it is I think he had 2 touchdowns this past week too. So
yeah, he got worded twice.
It's a reward to fumble, I guess. A big difference from last year when he fumbled and got bent. But this week, Woody Marks, who was someone else's Hillshire Farm Award winner this week, 7 touches for 24 yards. This dude was a guy who had 17 touches last week. Coach says, let's get him more touches. You know what happens? The complete opposite. He screwed me, screwed a lot of other people. I hope you're happy, Woody Marks. Stay in that bed.
He made most of those marks in that bed, actually.
I feel like I have the highest profile name in the bed this week. Yeah, it's just we have to do it. I don't think this is a permanent writing off, and I feel like Mark is maybe equally distraught with me over this. But King Henry's in the bed this week, and I think it's just he's been disappearing even when there's good game flow. This week was terrible game flow, and I think they're not going to get the right game flow until Lamar is back. But the scary part is he's had bad weeks when he should have had good weeks. So I'm really concerned for Henry. I think this is, for me, when I put someone in the bed, that usually means I'm done. This I'm going to give an exception. He's in the bed until he doesn't poop in the bed anymore. It's kind of like when your dog poops in the house. They're potty trained, but they pooped in the house, and you're like, hey, I thought you knew not to do that. It's kind of like that. And so it's all right, we're going to kick you out of the bed until you learn not to shit in it, and then you can come back in. So I'm thinking Lamar gets back. If the Ravens can get back on some sort of track, then Henry can come back into our good graces. But for now, unfortunately, he is S the B.
He's definitely S the B. Think of it also, if you don't see yourself as a dog, but you're the dog owner and your dog pooped in the bed, but you have to sit in it until things get better, until they are trained. You leave the poop in the bed and you stay in there. So I got a fella, and he was, on his way to the end zone. 70. I mean, I think I might have started him in one super desperate spot, but other than that, I was like, let's see what he does on the bench. he's running 73 yards. He's about to cross the goal line, and then and he shits his pants right before, loses his job. I'm surprised he's still on the team. I think his coach abused him on the sideline too. So he had to take all that. But I mean, deservedly so. So I mean, enjoy the bed with these guys. And that is the Sleep Number Shit the Bed Award for week number 5. All right, next we have the we're going to switch things up a bit. So we have it's been kind of a sad show with all the bed pooping and all of the Hillshire eating, and so anyways, this is the Weights for Men, and those of if Mark, well, Chaotic KK is a woman, but she probably knows about Weights for Men. But is Mark in Weights for Men?
Participates, yeah.
All right, so this is for you, Mark. Weights for Men, Flex of the Week, Week 5 edition. These are just players we like to flex. We may have them, we may not. We may have been advocating for these guys. They may have gotten an opportunity or just really exceeded expectations. But these are our guys. So I'll start off. I put Mr. Quinshon Judkins on here. And I live in Northeast Ohio. I'm not a Browns fan. I'm a Titans fan from Tennessee. It's like being a Browns fan with less history. Anyways, he just in the midst of everything that could go wrong, as it does in Cleveland, he's been a beacon of hope. He at least puts up good fantasy numbers despite anything, no matter what the game flow is. 110 yards this week. He looks great. He even had like a 60-something yard touchdown brought back due to a hold. So basically, he could have had more, but love what Quinshon's doing over there. Definitely, if you held on to him, if you bought him during his lowest of times, he's coming through for you. So Quinshon Judkins, you are my flex of the week this week, mister.
You know who didn't buy him? Me. I was like, suspension. No, we're not taking that. But hey, he's panning out for whoever did take a chance on him. Omega Ibuka, absolutely destroying it right now. It always seems like there's the guy when you're drafting, the guys that go mid-round, or 6th, 7th, 8th round guys, absolutely destroy everyone else, and that is this year's Omega Ibuka. Baker, the guy right next to him, they work out together, clearly. I mean, look at that physique. They work out together, they play together, they ball together. What's not to love about it? So they're like a match made in heaven. You need to put a little heart between the two of them boys. He's wide receiver number 3 so far in the season. Now we have some bye weeks starting here, but from what the consistency is that he's showing, it's just on another level. So I really like what he's been doing, and hopefully he can keep going. And he is the flex of the week this week.
So I put Uncle Rico on here. I think that was the easiest one ever. He's only flexed for 1 week. I feel like the flex of the week should be like if you've been doing it a lot, but this was such a huge flex that I think it deserved a Weights for Men flex of the week shout out. Over 200 all-purpose yards. Really gonna make it difficult for Chuba coming back, or one of those things where they don't rush Chuba back. They were playing the Dolphins. This could all just be like a huge fluke. But I was a Rico believer at Dallas. I thought it was goofy to move on from him by the Cowboys. I don't know if it was a money thing or what, but I was really banking on him just sticking with the Cowboys, sticking with that offensive line, that offense, and Rico just running with it. But they didn't. They chose to move on from him, and maybe he's showing off a little bit, playing for some extra money. But yeah, Rico flexing hard. He's the second beefiest of the 4 boys here, and he's his teammate is Jalen Coke Can Coker, but maybe he's got more of the Coke can this week.
Hey, you never know. We're gonna have to check down there, but yeah, Uncle Rico could throw a football over the mountains. Look at how many yards he put up, and I don't know if we're talking about this later. I see the the headline, but revenge game next week. Dallas Cowboys. Be on the lookout. And love the Emeka Egbuka flex of the week. He's doing something in Dynasty. He's got me considering a trade, leaning a little no towards it, but like he's entering that tier, right? And Baker Mayfield, just love what he's doing. Supporting Emeka Egbuka. Any quarterback who supports one of those high-end receivers like that is definitely a friend of mine. So anyways, I want to say he's like the QB3, and then Egbuka's the wide receiver 3, and they don't need anybody else. So yeah, exciting stuff. And then one of my favorites, we have the McDonald's 11th McNugget Award for week number 5. This is that good surprise of the week. Maybe you're not expecting much from them. Maybe they've overperformed, sort of like whenever the McDonald's employee overperforms by not knowing how to count, and you get a 10-piece and you open it up, there's 11 up in that bitch. So then you celebrate with that 11th McNugget. You count them before you eat them because you don't want to have 9. So yeah, we've got 3 fellers in here. I'll start off. I got an old man that I've doubted since the beginning. I didn't think it was possible. He took a year off. We've got Mr. Darren Waller, beautiful smile, putting up beautiful numbers over in Miami. Not a great situation, but I guess I don't know. I'm still trying to figure this thing out. Like you'll go with logic and it'll prove you wrong every time. But he took a year off. Not in football shape, was always injured, and he's just been putting up stats the last couple weeks. So I think in a position with so much volatility where you're constantly going back to the waiver wire every single week, unless you have one of those top 3 guys, he's a viable option moving forward. We saw what that Jonnu Smith became the focal point of the Miami Dolphins last year. So I mean, yeah, that is my 11th McNugget Award, and he might continue to stay. I don't have him anywhere. Just thought I'd show him some love here. And then another one I didn't put in here, but Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, 150 total yards. I know we like his run style, some other things. I know I've had him in places, dropped him, given up on him because it kind of felt random. He's a 7th round pick, doesn't have a lot of draft cap, but yeah, I wanted to put JCM in here as well. Peeps, who you got in here?
First off, I like Waller's smile. The man cheesing hard. He's like, I would love to open up a box of nugs and see that cheesing smile. Like, it makes you happy. And then Jordan Addison looks like it's his mugshot out there, so that is what that is. Complete opposite. He's not happy about this. But I got Stephon Diggs this week. He I don't know if he was hyper targeted because of the game being back in Buffalo. Exactly, the revenge game. And what I didn't appreciate, the entire game, they were like, hyping up about Diggs being back in Buffalo. Did we forget that he spent most of his time in Minnesota? He spent more years in Minnesota than he did in Buffalo, and everyone's hyping up this game. Like, sure, cool, we'll do that. It is what it is. That's a little side rant. But he had 10 receptions, I think, almost 150 yards. So absolutely destroyed. And I'm trying to figure out whether this is a ramp up or if that's somewhere special game that he's had this past week. Don't really know what it is, but regardless, put up big numbers, and you were definitely rewarded if you started him this week.
And if you were Mark, you did not start him this week, but he'll probably start him next week. So
Mark, like, he's talking about Bill, not the Bills. Damn. Yeah, I did the same thing. I had Bill on my bench. I didn't believe this week, and didn't work out for me. So anyways, I put Jordan Addison in here. He's been back 2 weeks in a row, 14, 15-ish fantasy points 2 weeks in a row in a PPR league. He didn't even play the first quarter for some random-ass reason. I don't know if they said why yet. Did they say why he didn't play?
He was punished for like missing walkthroughs or something earlier in the week.
He wanted to explore London for himself, so he went away from the team. Because I remember I have him in a league, And I was like, why isn't he out there? Why is Jalen Naylor out there? How can I nail her when I didn't even know her? And he, so like Jalen, yeah, he cut curfew, all those things. But yeah, I was like, why? I mean, he's your, like, why are you starting Jalen Naylor over him? Like, just let him explore. Like, it's Jordan Addison. All you have is Justin Jefferson and Hawkinson. Like, just, I don't know. You got to be smart at some point and say, screw the rules. It's okay.
Yeah, or like fine them like $50,000, like whatever. Just like let him play the full game. So, anyways, 2 weeks back, he's getting targeted in big time situations. It's working out. So maybe some people doubted it because of the suspension and whatnot, but it's working out really nicely. And things seem to be coming together in Minnesota. So yeah, Jordan Addison, pleasant surprise. Maybe coming to a flex of the week near you here soon. Stay tuned for that. Hopefully he keeps it up, because I think there's people, especially like in redraft leagues, who bought him really late, and it's really nice. It's paying off. So yeah, Jordan Addison is my nug, and he sure is a tasty nug. Quite crunchy. Maybe spend a little extra time in the fryer.
Yeah, nice.
I'll be interested when, because Carson Wentz is going back to backup duties. JJ McCarthy's back when they get back from the bye week. Be interested to see how that transition happens.
I think Carson Wentz should just have the JJ McCarthy's the shittiest quarterback I've ever seen.
He really hasn't had a chance, man.
Yeah, I mean, JJ McCarthy's like he just doesn't get the ball out. Like, I think Carson Wentz has proved himself. JJ McCarthy had one solid quarter where he led a big comeback, and other than that, 30 yards. He plays 15% of the game. Does not get the ball to our guys. So I mean, I know you're a Michigan guy, but I think JJ McCarthy sucks ass. Respectfully.
I'm just gonna vouch for him because he's basically a rookie and has had little to no chance to play. That's what my vouch for him is.
Yeah. Just let's see. Going through the comments.
Phil.
Curfew.
Yep.
Yeah,
take it.
Carson in.
Hey, that's fine. I'll vouch.
So, and then there's just another picture of Ramondre Stevenson fumbling to close it out. And then Joe Bennett, trash. So, hopefully he's not talking about the show because he's a friend of the show. But so now we're at the part where we do have sponsors here. And they keep the lights on here for us. So we're going to play a word from our sponsor, Pabst Blue Ribbon, and spokesperson, Coach Boots Donnelly.
Hi, I'm Boots Donnelly. Ever since I stopped coaching the Blue Raiders, I've been looking for something to do to fill the day. What better way to pass the time than to be your president in 2024?
Oh, this is the election.
Vote for me. Vote for Paps. Vote for Boots Donnelly.
Thanks, Boots.
Thanks. A little late, Boots. Maybe he's ramping up for a 2028 run.
Yeah, let's do the other.
When I'm not busy coaching the Blue Raiders, I like to drink a Pabst Blue Ribbon. So next time you're cracking a Pabst, make sure you dedicate your next DUI to me, Boots Donnelly.
Thanks, Boots.
Yeah, that one, like, Boots legit sounds like he's had about 8 to 12 Paps in that one. Like, he's clear. I think he's sobered up for the presidential run, but that commercial he made was pre-presidential run, and he was wasted.
He gave himself a Pabst mirror for sure. He was shoving the ball in all sorts of different places.
Some people get an annual pap smear. Boots gives himself a
daily pap smear.
Or a daily.
You know that game, or I showed you whenever you came over a couple weeks ago, that college football game on the play box.
Yeah.
And they have that like Road to Glory mode, and I created Boots Donnelly the fourth, and he's a 5-star quarterback, and we had offers everywhere, but I went to the Middle Tennessee State University, and they didn't even start me. Like they everywhere else was giving me the world, and MTSU was like, you can be the second string quarterback here, and I was like, I'm like a 90 something overall. Why am I the second string here? I had to work my way up, but Mark can't, and Boots the legend. Glad Mark respects Boots Donnelly. Not a lot of people know about old Boots, so yeah, he's a good guy. Dedicate your next DUI to him for sure. Next we got all the awards out of the way, all the flash, all the glam is through, and now we're going to do some thought-provoking questions and talking points just for fun.
All right. Rate your confidence level whether you would start or sit the following players. Derrick Henry.
Sit.
Start.
Ooh. Obviously depends on who else is on your squad there, but I like that answer. Jamar Chase.
Start.
Well, and maybe Joe Flacco, he did fine last week, and then now he's got a little upgraded quarterback.
Yeah, he's got a brand new system to learn, but Baker can learn it in 2 days, so why can't he?
Yeah.
AJ Brown.
Sit.
Good, yeah.
And Kamara.
I start him.
Start.
They don't have anybody else.
Yeah.
No, I mean, these are basically guys that you put a lot of draft capital in. You feel bad sitting, but the right decision probably is to sit at the end of the day. So
Kamara's floor is like 9. And that's a better floor than some of the guys you mentioned.
That is true.
That's like BTJ's ceiling right now.
Yes.
Exactly. So I'm worried about Derrick Henry without Lamar Jackson. Personally, I think I'm benching him next week in the one league I got him in. It's been a rough couple weeks there, except for I think week 1 where he got 30-some points. But benching him in lieu of some other guys I have I think probably 4 starting running backs in that league. So if I'm benching him, substituting with another tight end or wide receiver. But Jamar Chase, I'm going to believe in him. I would ride that, and that's what I got.
Nice.
That's what I'm talking about.
So my question is, how much belief do you have in the revenge game? Or to put it another way, has the revenge game ever been part of your calculations as to whether to start or sit somebody?
No.
Because it seems to be coming up more and more often. Like, people are keeping track of the revenge game, and you hear them talk about it.
I'm a fan. It gives you something to look forward to watching, but I don't particularly look too much into it personally. I'm still playing who I'm playing, and you just know shit's gonna hit the fan when it's a division game. And other than that, really, I don't really care about the matchup.
I think it depends on the player. It depends on the situation. I think most of the time the revenge game's an afterthought, and then you realize it as the game's going on, like, oh yeah, that is the revenge game. Even whenever we're talking about it before, like, we might forget that Rico Dowdle is a revenge game next week because Chuba might be back, and then it murks things up a bit. So yeah, I mean, the revenge game, I know Steve Smith was always good for the revenge game. Like, you have those players that just, if they have like a reason, like Rico Dowdle has a reason. The Lions, the Detroit Lions.
Do you think Rico flips off Jerry Jones?
Oh, definitely at the 50-yard line. And I hope so. So, I mean, like Rico Dowdle, like players who were like cut for no reason, or just weren't given the opportunities. Like that's where they can really shine, or like they got better whenever they went to the next team. Like AJ Brown lit the Titans up, like and got the GM fired and all those things. I think the Patriots are going to kill the Titans in a couple weeks because Vrabel's going to do whatever he wants against them. And then you got players like, I don't know, Treylon Burks off of IR, cleared waivers. If he signs somewhere, don't expect a good revenge game for him, even if he is playing the Titans. So yeah, I mean, I think it's an afterthought, but it's something that you do remember. I think it will come into play, like if you have two players that you're on the fence about, but one of them has a revenge game or something. I think that's when you consider that, but really just kind of depends. And also like someone, I think I was listening to XM earlier this week, and they mentioned the Detroit Lions are really good about that, like making things happen. Like David Montgomery, I guess, is from the Cincinnati area. So he threw a touchdown. Like that's a very specific play to happen. Like they obviously drew that up for him, something cool for his homecoming. I think that they somehow play into those narratives. If it's someone's birthday, if it's, look for that. And one thing that we need to find out, when is National Tight End Day, and we need to double tight end in our flex spots if we have any sexy flexy situations, if you will. So yeah, definitely want to look at that. I set Chase for the first time this week for Egbuka. It's 4-person stack. It was a mistake. About the same.
About the same.
4-person.
Stacked.
That sounds rough.
I'd 4-person league.
A 4-person league. Yeah, I bet nobody sucks. Yeah, those leagues I think are harder though, because if you just don't have if you don't have the top 5 at every position, what are you doing? So yeah, that's a rough one.
I also thought it would be funny if like announcers started keeping up with offensive lineman revenge games and announced it. Like, oh, it's a Sam Bolton revenge game at right guard this week. Look out. And then don't laugh. Just like be serious, like you actually mean it, or like it's one of the gunners for the punt team. It's his revenge game, and you just bring it up casually.
Oh, that's
I want that to start happening.
What if you do it for kickers? Kickers start nailing 70-yard field goals, but only on revenge games.
Yeah. They nail the kick, look at the other sideline, give them a double burr. So
I mean, kickers would be, because kickers win games all the time, so they get ultimate revenge in the revenge game. They don't just put up a bunch of yards and feel good about themselves. They can be the nail in the coffin for the team they used to play for. So kickers, quarterbacks, they can actually end the game.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Let's see. Next we have so this is just kind of I know no one cares about what league I'm in, but this is a trade from Superfan Matt in the cheese, and just wanted to publicly bring it to forum, see what people think. I'm really leaning no on it, but it had me thinking on the car ride home when we were discussing it. So we know Emeka Egbuka has had a meteoric rise. He's probably going to be drafted in the late first round to mid first round next year, somewhere in there. Jamar Chase is down a little bit. This is Dynasty. The trade would be Chase for Egbuka and a 2027 first. We all know what's in 2020, probably going to be in 2027. Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, a couple other guys. Looks stacked at receiver. I'm leaning towards not doing the deal, even though I think it's fair. It's a fair deal. I don't think it's a bad trade at all, because Jamar Chase is down right now, but he just got a new quarterback. And Jamar Chase is still the number 2 asset in Dynasty. So Bijan actually just hopped him on KTC. So I lean towards not doing it. Definitely a fair deal. I think I would want more, but that's because I have Jamar Chase. If you're giving him up, you want an overpay at minimum. What are your thoughts on the trade? It's Chase for Egbuka and a 27 first.
It's definitely fair. I feel like the unknown with the first pick, yes, it's stacked. What if you don't end up with one of those top, 3, 4 draft spots? You lose out basically on that draft class. Chase, we know what they got at quarterback. We know what they got at wide receiver. We know they're basically solidified. So I do like that in the Chase favor. But Egbuka's still unproven in a sense, if you will. I don't know if you can go wrong either way, to be honest with you. I do like the slightly on the Chase side, I think.
Well, and the cheese is where you're trying to just punt the season, right? And
I think I'm 4-1. I've turned it around in the cheese. So
okay, so you're trying to win in the cheese.
Well, and that's the thing. So that's where my mind goes. Like, if I was losing right now, I think I'd do the deal. But since I am 4-1 and winning, and it's a young team. It's a good team that has missed playoffs the first 2 years, but should not have lost in the first 2 years. We have the most points in 3 years total, but we have finished 6th or 7th or lower every year because we have the most points against. Everybody brings their best against my team. So yeah, that's kind of where my mind goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think the trade gives you better chance to win this year because Egbuka is so hot right now, and they're not dealing with what the Bengals are dealing with, because there's no guarantee that, people are somewhat happy with the Flacco thing, but the Flacco thing doesn't change that their defense is absolute horseshit, and Flacco is just going to get annihilated. So
no line.
I think the Egbuka trade gives you more chance to win this year if that's what you're trying to do, and it gives you a little kickback down the road if your team does suck. There's a little bit of security there where it's well, down the road I will get this first rounder. That might be a pretty good first rounder, especially if we continue to suck or people continue to bring their best and we be top scorers with most points against as well. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say one way or another on the trade, but I think the trade gives you a better chance to win this year.
Yeah.
I still think Chase is going to hold a higher. He's still him. He's still the alpha. Egbuka is not. You don't think of him as the alpha. So can he be that? Sure. He's not that right now, and I still think redrafts next year, Chase is still going higher than him, definitely, regardless of what happens this season. We still know who the quarterback's going to be. He's, knock on wood, back next year, healthy, Burrow at quarterback. So, more I talk about it, stick with Chase.
So, divided room here. Eileen, no. Peeps leans no. Joe is a hell no. Coach V likes it. My look in the cheese's ass. Flacco doesn't fix bad O-line. Good point by Mark. Buka's the clear wide receiver one move. I think I agree with that. I mean, Egbuka, so that's the thing, his rise to stardom is, I mean, we knew he was solid, but he was in rookie drafts, he was going 1.9, 1.10, 2.1, because he was buried on the depth chart, and he really emerged, and that's been what's so cool about all of this. So that he's even being considered in a Chase deal, I mean, obviously the first kind of makes up for it, but yeah, basically it's I paid a lot for Chase. I'll go back on that. So I rage trade. This was the worst trade I had ever made. I rage traded Jahmyr Gibbs. And I think some people know this story, but I really wanted Jamar Chase 2 years ago, and I made the same trade. It was with Superfan Matt. So anyways, I traded away Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think 2 or 3 firsts for like 2 or 3 seconds and Jamar Chase. And so like I treated Jahmyr Gibbs as a throw-in because the staff wasn't utilizing him. And it was like, I think it was David Monk, and I knew the talent was there. I never doubted the talent for a second. But anyway, I paid a shit ton for Chase. So that's also why it doesn't feel like I'd be getting enough, even though it is a fair deal. But yeah, so anyways, it was it was like David Montgomery was coming back from injury, and instead of them leaning on Gibbs, they gave him Montgomery a career high in carries. So I was like, screw this, I'm just gonna go get Chase, and we'll treat him as a throw in. And then the next week they started using him. So anyways, but it's been okay. Both of us have been missing playoffs with stacked rosters, so. Anyways, I'm not going to completely shut the door on the deal, but I am leaning no on it because I did pay a lot for Chase. Good point by Joe. But anyways, spent a lot of time on that. So
it's a good fair trade for what it's worth.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. I haven't looked back in the Google machine. I don't know when the last time we had undefeated teams not still in the league at this point in the season after week 5. It seems rather early to have no teams left undefeated. Just really, there's no question are you shocked by this early in the season, or do you expect this? Thoughts?
I expected teams like the Bills, the Eagles. I expected the Ravens to be undefeated well into the season. That might be it for me. So yeah, I wasn't expecting us to be out of unbeaten teams so early, but also I think teams are just over it. Like being unbeaten, they're not worried about it. Kind of like last year where they weren't worried about Saquon getting whatever record or whatever. Like, teams. I think teams are just like, we just want to win the Super Bowl, and that's all we're concentrating on. And if that means we lose early, or if that means so-and-so doesn't get a record, whatever. And it's good for the teams. You could probably argue either way that it's good for fantasy or not good for fantasy if teams are thinking more about the Super Bowl and less about like records and less about stats for individual players. But it's also preserving guys, so they give you like season-long value instead of just like playing their ass off and then getting hurt. So yeah, I wasn't expecting this, but I'm not upset by it because it seems like the ship is starting to get right. The right players are starting to get targeted on these teams. And then for a team like the Ravens, that's just a complete shit show. Even when Lamar Jackson was in there, the record still was shit. So I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I mean, I think you definitely expected teams like the Titans to be 5-0, and no, you do. But you do expect teams like, Lions, Ravens, even like, I don't know, I did expect the Chiefs' luck to run out, and that's looking true. But I like what Coach V said about just things getting righted, the right players starting to come through. It's been a very weird year. The less you know about fantasy, the better you're doing. The more you know, the less you know. Like it's been all over the place. But also like I've noticed, like if you had one of those back end picks of the first round, you're probably doing pretty solid unless you went with the BTJ option or something. But yeah, if you had that crazy start of like Puka St. Brown, I think Pastor Joe has that. You have the number 1 and number 2 receiver, pretty unbeatable if you started out like that in your fantasy draft.
Personally, I thoroughly enjoy having no unbeaten teams left because that means A, the scheduling has been good, and B, the competition's been good. We all love more competition. We don't love these blowout games. No one loves to see the Texans blow out the Ravens. That's awful. No one wants to watch a pro team play a college team. So I think it's good to see what the league's going to be going forward with a lot of young talent. And I just hope this kind of repeats next season too, with some really good competition. And what I've liked here recently, the Monday and Thursday night games have been a lot of divisional matchups, which has been really interesting to watch, because those always end up being pretty good games too. So been fun to watch overall, though.
Definitely. And it's Thursday night. Thursday night's been a lot less crappy than it has in years past, because usually it's a gamble to watch that and bet things on it. But if you do like gambling, make sure you go over to Underdog Fantasy, use code 5th Quarter Fantasy, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $1,000, and we get $10. We want $10 so we can do best ball drafts. And anyways, we appreciate your support of the show. Head on down to Underdog, bet the house, but that's not advice. Use code 5th Quarter Fantasy. Underdog will match that deposit up to $1,000. So I did want to look at top 10 by position through week 5, because it has been a weird year. So just wanted to pull up the sleeper machine, and we can kind of go through it together, and just we'll go over what's been kind of weird, what's been surprising, anything like that. So
I'll go first.
All right.
McCaffrey's still healthy.
Yeah, that. So Andy's ranked number 1,
Yes.
as we know. If he's healthy, he's great. So let's see. We'll just go by the 4 positions. Quarterback. I'm just gonna rattle it off, and we'll kind of discuss. But number 1, Josh Allen. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes. Number 3, Baker Mayfield. Number 4, Dak Prescott. Number 5, Jalen Hurts. Number 6, Matt Stafford. Number 7, Drake May. Number 8, Daniel Jones. Number 9, Lamar Jackson, with one less game than everybody. And number 10, Justin Herbert, the big-time pervert. Any surprises here? Any overperformers, underperformers? What do you think?
Mahomes. He's been trending down the past couple of years, and I think that's especially with Rashee Rice out. Really shocked on that one. Obviously Daniel Jones, and it starts to get finicky here when we start getting to bye weeks, and it throws a little of the stats off a little bit.
Yeah.
But those are probably the biggest surprises here, and obviously Jaden Daniels being injured doesn't help him on this list either. So
probably just Stafford playing his ass off is surprising, and staying healthy. I hope it continues. I mean, that dude, like, you could have got him like past the 10th round.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that Mahomes is surprising, but like I think Stafford is more Mahomes. You see him there, and you're like, damn it, like. I see Stafford there, and I'm like, cool, Stafford's still top 10 quarterback. Like, I'm happy for him. So I'd rather see guys that I'm like happy about.
Yeah. For me, it's my God squad's been awful, but I did call Dak Prescott. So Prescott being 4th, pretty cool. He was that one where I was like, hey, if you miss on quarterback, you don't get one of those elite top 5. Wait for Dak Prescott, pick him up. So excited to see him in that top 10. Running back, Christian McCaffrey at number 1, Jonathan Taylor at 2. Javonte Williams at 3, James Cock at 4. We got Jahmyr Gibbs at 5, Achane at 6, Bijan at 7. He had a bye week though. Mm-hmm. Kyron at 8, Saquon at 9, Hampton at 10.
Now injured. I made note of this too. It's in our text thread here. I messaged you guys this also. Is I'm shocked of the guys. Coach V's, your mentality when drafting is, do you have an injury report? Yes, I'm not going to touch you. All the guys that have seemingly had injury history aren't getting injured yet, but it's still early. But those guys have not been injured, and they're performing as you would expect if they were healthy. So I'm going to say that is a surprise to me, just that those guys are staying healthy so far. The top 3 guys, really.
Yeah. It's those top 3, I think. And Javonte Williams is one of those that I loved. and was waiting on the comeback and was on the comeback a year early, and Sean Payton happened. So anyways, he's been obviously the big surprise here. Number 3 running back. And you like to see it, especially after he's had so much injury history. So he's kind of the big surprise right there. And then I know I was really excited about Amari in Hampton. Really sad he's on IR. I hope it's like a short 4-week IR and not like a season-long.
Najee Harris IR.
Right. Najee Harris because he lost an eye. But, yeah.
Yeah, James Cook, Jonathan Taylor, Kyron Williams, those are all guys that like people just forget about, who just keep doing it week in, week out, year in, year out. I wasn't necessarily surprised by Javonte. When I could get him in a league, I got him because I just really thought he's got all the talent. He just needed like a team with a line and a dedication to the run game. So like, I wish I could have got him everywhere, but I only got him in like 1 out of 3 because I was just like, this is great. This is a great situation for him. But I'm just impressed by the guys who just like very workmanlike, lunch pail gang. Every year you can count on them. They're not sexy picks. They're not going to like get you 30 fantasy points one week, but they're always going to get you like double digit, almost maybe 20 points here and there. And, you know, the James Cook, the Jonathan Taylors, and the Kyron Williams of the world. Don't forget about the lunch pail gang.
On game. Wide receivers, and this is Dynasty. That's how I have Puka and Jamar and Jefferson, and I'll stop roster baiting. But number 1, Puka. Number 2, St. Brown. Number 3, Egbuka. Number 4, Smith and Jigba. Number 5, Garrett Wilson. Number 6, Jamar Chase. Number 7, George Pickens. Number 8, Deebo Samuel. Number 9, Quentin Johnston. Number 10, Cam Sutton. Or Cortland Sutton.
Well, yeah, not Cam Sutton.
Defense.
So, no Jefferson. That's perhaps the most shocking on that list so far.
He's at 11.
Hey, he's still not in the top 10. We're doing top 10.
We're doing top 10. He's not there.
A lot of the guys you would expect to be there. I'm really pleased to see Garrett Wilson in the top 10. You knew he always had it in him. So good to see him in here in the top 10. And George Pickens there, obviously by default without CeeDee Lamb there. So injuries, obviously, once again, just like Jane Daniels. Otherwise, CeeDee Lamb probably would be in this list with that week that Dak had last week.
Yeah. I mean, I think this top 10 is at least half or more surprises. You know, you got Egbuka. I don't think anybody saw him as a top 10 right out of the gate. So that's awesome. Puka's on a tear. He's already got, I think, 52 receptions in 5 weeks. So he's on track for like 160, 170 balls if he keeps it up. Yeah, I mean, Egbuka, Smith and Jigba, you saw as like a wide receiver too, probably. Good to see Garrett Wilson back in there. George Pickens, someone who has historically come up small, finally has a quarterback. So that's been cool to see. And then Quentin Johnston, I still think the guy sucks. But, I mean, he's proven us wrong. He's this year at least. And he is – yeah, it says here number 8 wide receiver is number 9 on this list, but Quentin Johnston, it feels wrong. It feels so wrong, but he's there. So and then Deebo, he's a surprise too. So lots of surprises here.
Yeah, I'm shocked that Deebo's top 10. I just didn't think he'd be as relevant as he is, but they're finding ways to get him open, get him the ball. I'm not as surprised with Quentin Johnston just because they needed that time to install the new system. I think if they stuck with his first coaching staff, he wouldn't be anywhere. But I think they've worked with him. They figured it out because he's got all those other intangibles. He just was like having trouble that first year, maybe just a slow starter. But I'm worried if the running game doesn't get to where it needs to be, that Johnston's going to lose some value. So, like, I'm worried about him slipping now unless they shore up this running game with Vidal and Haskins or whatever, if that's going to work. But I'm worried he's going to really slip in value because they might become a one-dimensional team.
So sell high on Quentin Johnston. Got it.
Time to get out.
Yeah, let him have one more big game and then sell. Tight end. We got Turd Ferguson at the top. Number one of Vinny's boys when no one believed. Turd Ferg. Number 2, Dalton Kincaid. Number 3, Tyler Warren. Number 4, Trey McBride. Number 5, Hunter Henry. Number 6, Travis Swift. Number 7, Sam Laporta-Potty. Number 8, Jeff Tonjes. Number 9, Donkey Teeth. Number 10, AJ Barnyard. Wild list.
I in our Junkies League, I'm the proud owner and have been starting weekly 2 tight ends, and that is Ferg Daddy and Trey McBride. So
Nice.
really pleased with that, and I had Tyler Warren on my God Squad this year, so definitely not surprised to see that. Is that Hunter Henry in there?
Hunter Henry is in there. He's number 5.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Okay.
Yeah.
He keeps having like 20-point games and then 2-point games.
Exactly. Those are skewed. You know, it's a tight end list. It's disgusting as always.
It's so bad.
It is what it is. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I think the tight end list almost needs like double the time that any other list needs to like even itself out, because these tight ends will have like 2-3 touchdown games and shoot them up the list like Jake Tonges and shit like that. So I think they just need more time to like shake it out. I'm most shocked by Kincaid. I wrote him off in every league except for one league. I kept him in one, and you know, just because I was like, well, you never know. And like, I think did he exceed 100 yards last week?
He had a really good game.
I think it was like 108, maybe. Like,
yeah, 108, 6 for 6, 108.
So, anyways, like, I don't know what's going on there. I think he just same thing, maybe like a Quentin Johnson thing, just needed time to install him appropriately in the offense. But Josh Allen is now looking his way. He's scoring touchdowns in most games. So I'm shocked by it. I'm glad I have at least one share left of him. So it's almost like that's the moral of the story is like I think we just get so hyped up on rookies and then we get so off of them so fast and we just don't give them time to breathe. But sometimes like your roster just doesn't have room for you to hang on. So it's almost like learn that about yourself, learn that a lot of other people are like that, and then prey upon them when the time is right.
Yep. Yeah. So, and one thing about Turd Ferguson, so not only is he number 1 tight end, he's number 30 overall. So if you're not even in a tight end starting league, but you have a flex, like he's a very strong flex. You know, he's been out of control the last few weeks, averaging about 18, 19 points a game, something like that. So, yeah, Ferg in the house. Yeah, I mean, other than that, it's pretty nasty. It's you know, you're pretty much streaming unless you, and even then it's hard to like truly believe in Hunter Henry or, you know, Tonjes or whoever. But anyways, yeah, if you got Ferguson, roll with him. Warren, McBride, you're probably starting Kelsey every week. I still don't believe in Kincaid, but you know, I'm losing this year too, so there's that. But
because their team is really a every week who's going to get the ball, kind of like the Packers.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you think that's happening?
Could be.
Absolutely. Ain't no way he's doing it otherwise.
Yeah. So one last thing before we close out here. If you want to become part of our inner friend circle, we actually don't check any of this stuff, but
Well, how do we put it up? We don't check it.
Yeah, subscribe to at Fifth Quarter Fantasy on YouTube. We have a Discord that I'll check once a month, and there's never any new activity on it, but maybe someone can get that going. And then we're on the Facebook machine. I make a random update about an hour before we get on here, and I think that drove a little traffic tonight. And then we're on X. I don't know the login, but it's at 5th Quarter FC, looking like a soccer club name. But anyways, we're really out there. But really, you can just find us on here every Tuesday night at 9:15 p.m. Eastern, 8:15 p.m. Central. We'd love to have you stop on by, grab yourself a handful of Chex Mix, and join the fun.
All right,
Coach, it's your first time back after a week break. Do you remember what we do?
I think I got it. I think you got to get your hand out of your ass and then learn to live, laugh, love, like, and subscribe. Fifth Quarter Fantasy.